All right, guys, good evening. Good evening. Got a few difficulties there getting the stream started, but we got it going. Got a few things to talk about here, starting with our first and foremost, our potential for severe tonight. We have a couple of severe storms currently ongoing in the UP. We're recovering those the past hour or so. That warning should be either continued or canceled here momentarily for portions of the UP. Otherwise, that's the only warning in the state currently. The main concern continues to be this squall line developing out to our west across Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois areas. It's going to push to the east toward southwest Michigan. Now, what we're going to talk about hazards and stuff, let's go ahead and dive right on in to our SPC outlook. The outlook is an enhanced risk that extends from Grand Rapids, from Lansing, all the way down through about Hillsdale and points south and westward from those locations. A slight risk is in effect from roughly Big Rapids over to the Port Huron area. That's going to be the yellow color. And north of that in the UP and northern lower is your marginal risk. That's in dark green. Places like Gaylord, Alpena, Traverse City, all the way up to the UP, Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie, those areas in a marginal risk. So the entire state within a severe risk today, definitely highest off to the south and west. A moderate risk is in place. It bumps up just to the Berrien County line. So it's knocking on our door, but luckily the moderate is still off to our west. Hazards tonight, the main one is going to be damaging wind. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. I want to get you guys zoomed way in. So we have the exact concerning areas here. The red area here that is black hatch, we call it a hatch box. That's going to be the probability of significant wind gusts over 70 miles per hour tonight. Okay, so the areas in red from roughly Holland, Grand Rapids, over to Lansing, down through Jackson, down through Hillsdale, all the way to the west. So Coldwater, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor, South Haven, Three Rivers, all in the hatched area for significant wind gusts tonight. That's a 30% probability. The yellow is a 15%. That's your slight risk. That's going to be no hatch there, but still a good probability of winds from roughly Pentwater, Ludington area, back through Port Huron. So that's going to be your main concern tonight, damaging winds. Secondary concern is tornadoes. That's going to be a 10% risk here for places like Benton Harbor, all the way over to Three Rivers. We're going to stay Kalamazoo, probably included in that 10% as well. It's a 25-mile point here. So Kalamazoo, even Battle Creek, potentially Coldwater as well, very close to that 10%. So keep that in mind. But the 10% does bump into the very far southwest portion of the county. 5% then extends up to Grand Rapids, over to Hastings, over to Jackson, down through Hillsdale County. And then 2% extends now from roughly Detroit up through Alma, up through about the Pentwater area. And that's the green color there. So definitely a higher risk the further south and further west you go tonight. The hail risk overall is not too terribly concerning. There's your hail risk statewide. It's highest up in the UP right now. The lower peninsula doesn't really have too much of a risk to worry about hail-wise, so it should just be a damaging wind threat as well as some spin-up tornadoes. Looking at the model projections, we're going to zoom in here to lower Michigan here in a second, but first and foremost, watching what's happening up there in the UP right now. Those storms will likely cross Lake Michigan and push into northern lower over the next couple hours. So there's your severe threat up there in northern lower Michigan. This model says it'll rise roughly right around 9 to 10 p.m. or so. So expect up there by Traverse City area, Gaylord, those areas up there. Still that marginal risk for severe weather, damaging winds, perhaps some hail is your only concern up there. But the attention then turns back to this bow echo that's sitting across the lake into Illinois, Wisconsin. Let's go ahead and zoom in to our floater screen here, our Michigan look zoomed in. This is going to be the topic of discussion for tonight. This squall line is currently developing over Iowa, pushing to Illinois right now. That is going to crank out winds that could be strong to significant, upwards of 70 plus miles per hour. Okay, that's going to push across Lake Michigan. This is at 11 p.m. It says. Expect arrival right between 11 and midnight or so. That's going to push right on to the Michigan lakeshore here from roughly Grand Rapids and points southward. So that pushes on shore right around midnight, give or take half hour or so. And that's going to be the start of what could be a strong bow echo across the southern portion of the state. This model does have it weakening just a bit as it continues to push eastward towards Lansing. It does continue, though, as it pushes across the state, but we should see a gradual weakening trend, and definitely strongest when it first comes onshore. That's why that enhanced risk exists over toward the Southwest Michigan. Okay. As that pushes east, though, expect a weakening trend to develop. It will reach the east side of the state towards, we're going to say, Hillsdale, Jackson area, roughly around 2 or so a.m. And then it'll push into Detroit area on the Detroit side, roughly 3 to 4 a.m. It should be clearing the state by 4 to 5 a.m. Rain will likely be happening on the backside of that, but the main squall line of concerning damaging winds will be out of the state by about that 5 a.m. time frame. Okay. Overall, we have a timing map posted on our Facebook page. I don't have that pulled in here. I will get it pulled in for you guys to look at. But overall, a threat tonight for intense damaging winds does exist, as well as spin-up tornadoes. Definitely a possibility along the leading edge of this line, especially further south and west in that 5 and 10% risk there you see on your screen. So with that being said, the main uncertainty continues to be how far east and how far north this squall line is going to go. A lot of times these squall lines can and sometimes do dive to the south into Indiana, perhaps Illinois, Ohio, and it may miss Michigan, although we don't expect that to happen at this point. The possibility is there as these squall lines tend to follow the better instability, although we are highly unstable tonight, which is going to support a lot of lightning, but also severe weather chances as well. So the main concern is how far east that goes, how far north does that line extend? Definitely a higher risk further south and west than the red and yellow areas here on your screen. Flip back over here to the outlook there. The enhanced risk, really the highest concern here. More uncertainty further east, further north you go. All right. Timing map here. Feel free to screenshot this. Can you take the bottom scroller off there?
Already on it.
So timing map, a little bit confusing here.
That's the wrong one.
It's the wrong one. Hold on.
That's the one from last night.
Yeah. There we go. This is the one from tonight. I wrote the wrong one. So the greatest hail threat, obviously in the UP. We'll break this down color by color here. The green section in the UP, greatest hail threat. There was a small chance of a tornado up there in the southern UP. We saw a storm rotate. That threat is over. And then we go down to the south there. The greatest tornadic threat there in the red area appears to be Holland to Lansing to Jackson to Adrian over to the west toward Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Sturgis areas. The greatest wind threat does appear to be in blue. And then also significant wind gusts, the black hatched area we put in the Joel put in the outline there is also overlaid close to that red greatest tornado threat there in the southwest part of the state. Timing there is on the bottom. The white lines indicate your timing. 11 p.m. should be the expectation. Right around 11 to midnight, arrive on West Michigan Lakeshore, and it'll push pretty quickly through the southern part of the state, reaching and clearing the state roughly by 4 a.m. Map says 3 a.m., but this is the earliest arrival time, earliest start time. So this should be clearing the state roughly by 4 or 5 a.m., guys. Keep in mind these times are arrival, the start time. They could vary depending on how things trend. We'll keep you guys updated for a more accurate time frame here on Facebook. But overall, that is going to be your synopsis of timing. Feel free to screenshot this. It's also posted on our page multiple times. We'll leave it up here for about 10 more seconds for you guys to screenshot, take a good look at it as far as your timing map goes. Okay?
Yeah. And another thing is the margin of error with the time, the earliest arriving time I put out on the page earlier today is 60 to 90 minutes. So it could arrive as early as 9:30, or it could arrive as late as like 12 to 12:30 on the West Michigan shoreline. But right now, most miles are saying around 11 for West Michigan shoreline.
Right. All right, let's go ahead and tape this down, throw the banner back up there, and let's pop out the comment section here.
There was a lot of donations that came in while we were doing that.
Okay, so if we want to go ahead and read some of those
read them off.
Okay, cool.
Let me get to them here. Just putting the banners back up. So start the stream. We had 5 YouTube memberships from Bob and Jazz. Thank you.
Forgot about that, Joel.
You're good. You're good. Lori also joined the team here at MSC. Thank you, Lori, for your support. Bob with a $2 super chat. Power is expensive. Red Dozier with a $50 super chat. Keep us safe, guys. This blows, no pun intended. Love that comment. A great pun there. Thank you, Red Dozier, as always, for your support of the channel. And, of course, we have one more here. Lisa Boyd, 10 gifted memberships as well on YouTube. Again, all of these donations came in on YouTube as well as gifted memberships. So if you're not subscribed for free on YouTube, you have a chance at receiving one of these gifted memberships when people so generously donate. Again, thank you for those who have donated so far to our channel. I appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your support. If you guys got questions, feel free to drop those in chat. It's highly recommended that you learn how to read the map here so you know where your location is at. We have about 1,000 people in here watching, probably a lot of people asking about specific locations. So it's very important to learn where you are in these maps. You can coordinate that to the colors and risk areas. So we can't, unfortunately, answer everybody's questions about specific areas, but we can, give you specific general areas where we could see higher risk corridors. And right now that extends from Grand Rapids. I'll read some cities off here for the highest risk area: Grand Rapids, Lansing, Jackson, Coldwater, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Hastings, Holland, South Haven, Three Rivers, Sturgis. You guys in and around those areas, you guys are in the highest concern. That's your enhanced risk. The slight risk extends from Ludington, Fremont, Muskegon, Ionia, Alma, Flint, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Adrian, Monroe. You guys are all within that slight risk. If you're further north there, Gaylord, Cadillac, Manistee, Bad Axe, Mount Pleasant, Clare, up through the UP, Sault Ste. Marie, Mackinac, you guys are up there in that marginal risk. That's your lowest risk. Okay.
And that's mainly for damaging winds. Up in the marginal, that's mainly just going to be your damaging wind threat.
Yes.
But a marginal, so it's very likely that some places in the northern lower tonight will not get any severe at all. However, if you live in the slight risk and higher, there's a chance that most of you guys will see a thunderstorm tonight, potentially severe. Another thing with the map, we live in a state where our hand is pretty much the map. We always do it all the time. Point to yourself on the map. Highly recommend pulling up Google Maps, finding yourself on a map. That way you can reference where you are in the mitten. And the UP is also kind of shaped like one as well if you use your left hand. So advice from me to you. Joni with a gifted membership here as well at MSC. If you're passing it on, appreciate your support.
Thank you, Joni. Sue with a $5 super chat says, what can I expect for Flint rain amounts? Thank you, Sue. Rain for the Flint area. Let's go ahead and pop out the model here. Just give an overview here of the heaviest rainfall for you guys. So overall, we pop this out in a second. There we go. Your rainfall through tomorrow morning for Flint looks to be right around 1/4 of an inch. Or sorry, yeah, 1/4 of an inch, between 1/4 and about 1/2 inch. Could see a lot higher in the leading edge in the main bow echo line there. So expect a little bit higher amounts potentially. There are flood watches in effect. So if we have a more northerly track, we could see a bit higher amounts up there toward Flint, but right now expect at least 1/4 of an inch. And thank you for your support there.
Lee as well, the $5 super chat. Nothing to chat about, just a $5 super chat. Thank you, Lee, for your support of the channel. Appreciate you very much.
So latest HRRR model coming in has a little bit different of a solution here, where this model has storms developing out in front of this. About 11 o'clock arrival time there on the West Michigan Lakeshore, and those continue eastward with time across the 94 corridor. That's a weird look on a model there, right across 94.
Mm-hmm.
So could see some heavier rain there across 94 corridor. And again, flood watches are in effect here for a large portion of South Central Michigan. So keep that in mind as well. Tornado threat tonight is on the higher end of things, usually speaking here, Michigan Standard. We don't always see a 10% tornado risk here in the state. Regardless of any risk, 2% or 10%, it is a risk nonetheless. You should take it seriously. But definitely is a concern with this line as it first arrives for spin-up tornadoes. These shouldn't be the strong, long-lived type. They should be quick spin-ups, weak in nature. Definitely a concern for those. Definitely highest there in the yellow area, but a risk does extend with the entire line as far north as Fremont and as far east as Ann Arbor.
Someone was asking about the pinks and the purples on radar. That's going to be your heavy rain.
Yep.
Which I have the radar pulled up in the background just in case. There's your bow echo right now. Right now in eastern Iowa. Still got a long way to go. And again, the fail mode tonight, for those who are just tuning in, the fail mode is if it turns south. We want it to turn south. That way it can miss Michigan completely. that's been kind of the case over the past couple of days as well. A lot of our MCSs is pretty much just bowed pretty much straight to the south. But again, we have to watch that MCV because that also is kind of where it turns right there at that triple point right there at Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. Depending on where that tracks, we could see some of those storms move into West Michigan for sure. Ashley with the $1.99 super chat saying thanks for all you do, guys. Thank you, Ashley, for that nice comment. We appreciate you and your support of the channel. And also, these are all the warning boxes coming in right now. So those orange boxes that you see highlighted in pink, those are destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, and those will trigger wireless emergency alerts on your phone as well. That's kind of what we had on June 25th in Muskegon County. We had destructive severe thunderstorm warnings there. Yes, this definitely could be a derecho, especially over there in Iowa and Illinois.
And again, those aren't predicted. They are classified after they happen. So much like a tornado rating, we're not going to know if this is going to be a derecho until after it happens.
Yep.
So we can't really say it's going to be or not.
Jason with a $10 super chat. Go buy some energy drinks on me. It's going to be another long night, that's for sure. Thanks for everything you do. I recommend you guys to everyone. Come to Kent Counter Spotter Training next spring. We may have to see you there then, Jason. Thank you so much for your support. We also have a super chat from RS Tony from the Macomb County area. I think someone just tried to click at the same time. It's probably Nick in the background here. Nick, go ahead and click that for me. What to expect in Macomb? Any watches possible? Watches definitely possible across anywhere in southern Michigan tonight, from West Michigan over to the east side. Just depends on how long this can stay together and if it takes that direct east path. Again, if it turns south, then it might not hit eastern Michigan. But southwest Michigan right now is the primary focus for that severe, or the greatest chance of seeing severe tonight, as indicated in our SPC outlooks that we shared with you guys. And thank you both, Jason and RS, for the super chats. We also have another super chat coming from Bob. One GoPro mount coming Thursday. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your support.
And for buying something off our Amazon wish list. Appreciate you. New YouTube member here, M. Prebsky, I think is how you pronounce it. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Appreciate your support. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Goodness gracious. There's so many comments right now.
Sorry, that was me.
We got about 1,200 of you guys in here. We got about 100 likes. Can we get the likes up a little bit? Helps us out a lot, and also helps your neighbors out who may not be aware of this threat tonight.
Yep.
Free to do, and it's the best way to support us here.
Another PSA for those who are sending comments with stars. Again, we do appreciate you guys for sending the support. Unfortunately, our streaming software doesn't allow us to see those starred comments. But again, we thank you guys either way for sending stars on Facebook. On YouTube, though, if you guys send a super chat, they do pop up for us as highlighted.
I see a lot of comments coming in here about expansion of SPC risks, watch, stuff like that. So overall, the SPC, yes, shifts are still possible. Any major changes? I would say probably not. I think a watch is likely incoming for portions of South Michigan, probably within the next couple of hours. They usually issue those about an hour or two before storms are expected. So expect a watch to begin coming here roughly probably between now and 10 o'clock. And once it is issued, it's automatically posted to our Facebook page. So once it's issued, immediately you're going to know about it if you have your notifications on for our Facebook page. And yes, we'll be live tracking this all night long. We have multiple people out in the field. Joel, myself, Nick, Mike, all going to be here. All hands on deck with this, as we expect this to be a pretty decent bow echo here moving into the state. Obviously, the hope is that it dies or weakens or it dives south. But in the anticipation that it won't, we are here for you guys. Change your locations. Thank you, Summer. That's the post I've been trying to post for 3 hours now. I'll get that out for you guys. Give me a second.
Casey's Bowling Channel. Welcome to the team here at MSC. Appreciate your support. Hope you stick around. Thank you very much. Nick,
What?
if you ever see the super chats pop in, just go to the starred chat. That way you don't have to click on a million comments there, because they are flying in right now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want the starred comments to just start flying in.
And again, we do have that timing map up. I'll actually throw it back up here on the screen for you guys. It is on our Facebook and our Twitter page, or X page, as you want to call it. As we have another 499 super chat coming from Tristan. Just looked at ForeFlight, the aviation app. Tops of those storms, 65,000 feet and growing. Be safe out there tonight for everyone who's in Southwest Michigan. Thank you, Tristan, for the super chat. And yeah, those are very tall storms. A lot of instability out there tonight. Fairly uncapped as well. Now we could see a little bit of a capping version start to come in place after sundown as well. So we have to keep an eye out for that. But here's your timing map again. Earliest arrival around 10 to 11 p.m. on the western Michigan shoreline.
Got some gifted memberships. Thank you, LG.
LG, maybe?
LG.
Thank you for your support, LG. Welcome to the team, guys. You're gifted.
And again, that is all on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed for free on YouTube, go ahead and check that out. You have a chance of getting one of those gifted memberships. Donald with a 499 super chat saying, you guys are great. I'm in Battle Creek. Going to be a fun evening. Depending on how you look at it, it might not be so fun. A lot of people do have storm anxiety, so we're looking out for you guys as well. But again, thank you, Donald, for the super chat. We got you guys covered nevertheless, whether that's storm anxiety or you're just looking for a storm. And yes, the risk category, sometimes it doesn't matter whether you're in the 2, the 5, the 10. Tornadoes can happen anywhere, or less than 2%, as Michigan likes to play that game sometimes. So keep that in mind. Right now, it's heading pretty much due west. It's kind of swinging right now, as you can see right there on your loop. It's doing like a little dip, but that northern extent is not moving south at all yet. So it's heading straight for currently Allegan and Van Buren County. It looks like. Yes, if there's a number, there's a risk. That's good advice I just saw in chat coming through here. A reminder, all 83 counties in Michigan today are in some sort of severe risk. So keep that in mind. And again, with any severe thunderstorm, all hazards technically are possible. But again, the main threat tonight is going to be damaging winds. Someone's asking about our mezzo here. Michigan Man, $2 super chat. How are the thermodynamics looking for southern Michigan?
Very, very high for instability. We're looking at roughly 3,000 to 4,000 CAPE across southern Michigan. Wind shear is really good, as well as our spin. So we have all hazards for sure. We have a good source of lift with the MCV, as well as it was a shortwave cold front.
Mm-hmm.
Then our moisture is close to 80 dew points just south of the border here. We're firmly in the 70s here across the state, though. So
do we have? Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do we still have severe in the UP? We don't.
No, we don't.
Okay. Spin up tornadoes more or less damaging. Again, these comments are flying in here right now, but I'm trying to pick some apart. Tonight we might be using the wording again where it doesn't matter if there's a tornado or not. Damaging winds can cause, damage equivalent to an EF0, maybe even an EF1 tornado, depending on how high the damaging winds are. Again, EF0 tornado is 65 to 85 mile per hour, so that would be like a strong EF0 potentially, especially over there in Illinois and Wisconsin right now, at least, where destructive severe thunderstorm warnings are currently in effect. So wording might not matter if there's a tornado on the ground or if there's damaging winds. You do want to be taking shelter nevertheless. But spin up tornadoes, they can cause intense damage sometimes. But tonight, that main focus still will probably be the damaging winds. And again, if tornado warnings are issued, we'll go over that street by street, county by county. And again, for those who are new here, we do this 365 days a year, every single severe warning, every single tornado warning. This is completely volunteer ran here at MSC. So any support for us, we do appreciate. It's totally optional. Best way to do that, though, is hitting that like button. After this briefing is done, we will take a brief break because the storms are still a little ways away. Again, we don't expect them to start until about 11. Bob with the $2 super chat asking Julie to slow the chat and fit in YouTube here.
I can actually slow it if you guys need that.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming in. Appreciate you, Bob, for the $2 super chat.
I'm seeing a severe thunderstorm warning with 90-mile-per-hour winds.
Where?
Lena, Freeport.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah, it's very far northwest Illinois. 90-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible destructive for coming into Rockford here in a few.
Wow.
About a half hour or so.
Which National Weather Service issued that, Davenport?
KDVN.
Quad Cities.
Yep, Davenport.
Vince is on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. There's your blues right there on velocity. At least 70 in here for sure. That's at 2,500 feet. Melissa with a $2 super chat saying thanks for all you guys do. Thank you for those kind words, Melissa, and your support of the channel. Appreciate you. There's still a chance it could dive south of Grand Rapids, but right now we are currently on pace to be riding right down 96 and points south if it continues its current trajectory. But again, the fail mode tonight is if it takes a southerly dive, which is still on the table for sure. But right now it's still doing a swinging motion where it's kind of starting to swing up a little bit. It's all being pivoted by the MCV, or mesoscale convective vortex, which is like a miniature low pressure confined within where these kind of bands of rain meet here. Make pretty much a right angle. And ironically enough, there's a tornado warning on it too.
Yeah.
The chaser location is now posted. Just briefly going over that. I know a lot of you guys like this information. Chandler, Alex, Drew, Ben, both our Chris's, Chris Mundy, Chris Tobias, Cody, and Corey are all active tonight. And you're going to find us three here, Joel, Nick, myself, as well as Mike, doing radar ops, as well as post to the page. So it's all hands on deck here.
Is Ben out west?
Ben is positioned currently in Illinois.
The Rockford area?
I believe so.
Okay.
These guys are going to follow the storms back into Michigan. We have a few people stationed in Southwest Michigan currently. We also have chasers out currently chasing the storm as it moves through Illinois. They're going to chase it back into the state so we know what it's doing. So we'll have communications with those guys.
I am being requested for one of us to explain a bow echo briefly.
What you see on the radar right there is basically a bow echo. It's a line of storms like that bows outward like a bow and arrow. Think of it like a backward C shape.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very front of that line can be damaging winds. Not always, but in this case tonight, we do expect these to be quite significant winds.
Yeah, out of the couple days here straight of severe weather we had, this is by far probably the most severe of them, especially given that there's an enhanced risk, almost a moderate risk in Southwest Michigan. So this is something you want to be taken seriously.
I still see comments asking about upgrades and shifts. So the SPC will update one more time around 9 o'clock. So if there's any more changes that are going to be made, it'll be at that 9 o'clock update. I don't expect there to be too much in the way of changes, but if there are, we're going to let you guys know ASAP as soon as we do. Okay.
Yes, we do cover winter storms. They're not as fun, but we're here for them. Those forecasts are a lot harder because that's predicting how much precipitation is going to fall. But
I want to mention this as well, really quickly here. We're getting some cells popping out ahead of that line near the Kenosha, just north Chicago area. Those may arrive if they continue to push eastward in southwest Michigan a little bit earlier than anticipated. So keep an eye on that just in case. But the main bow echo is still on track for after 11 p.m. or so.
Mm-hmm. I would say if you guys know anybody that lives in northern and central Illinois, especially the Chicago area here in the next coming hours, definitely let them know this is heading their way. Again, confirmed 70 to 80 mile per hour winds heading straight for Chicago, Rockford, Rochelle area.
Yeah, my brother just drove to Chicago today.
Oof.
Yeah.
Make sure he's hunkered down there. Joel, I'm going to take back the SPC outlook for those of you just tuning in here. So your SPC outlook is right here on your screen. Zoomed in here for the southern part of Michigan because that's the most concerning right now. There is a risk across the entire state, even up in the UP. It's a low risk up there, lower risk up there. Definitely highest there in orange and yellow areas, particularly in the orange areas. And if I were to zoom out here and go over to let's go ahead and use the Illinois K-Lot. I can load it here. I guess I can't. Let me go and refresh this real quick. Here we go. This is how close that moderate is to Michigan. This is a moderate risk out in Illinois for that squall line. And you can see Michigan over here. Here's Berrien County, Benton Harbor area. It's very close to our state here. So if you guys happen, like Joel just said, know people who live across north central Illinois, send them a text. Definitely, if they're aware, make sure they're aware of this squall line coming through towards Michigan here, but also if you have friends and family in the path of this, go ahead and warn them. But yes, your SPC outlook continues here for Michigan. The enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, firmly in place there for Southwest. I see a comment in here about sirens. Please do not rely on tornado sirens tonight, especially. Make sure you have ways to receive warnings. We always recommend the Red Cross emergency app, as well as your EAS alerts on your phone. There's also the FEMA app, weather radios. There's a lot of stuff you guys can utilize to receive warnings tonight. Please do not rely on sirens. They're not meant to be heard indoors, and they are sounded very differently across the state, across America, really. Different triggers for different local townships, cities, stuff like that. So they may not always sound. Thank you, Bob, for $2 super chat yet again. It says, walk your yard, secure loose items. That's not a bad idea, especially in Southwest Michigan there as that line comes on shore. We had its strongest with, 60 plus, 70, 80 mile per hour winds possible. Your trash cans can be relocated to the next county. So
you don't want to
secure your items.
You don't want to be the one that has your trampoline up in someone's power lines about 100 yards away. So definitely secure your trampolines as well.
Amberly, thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate your support and welcome to the team, Amberly. Tamara, good question. Will this be out of here by morning? So it'll clear the state roughly by 4 to 5 a.m. on the east side. So we should be looking at some rain on the backside. So it could still be raining, but the main severe threat will be out of the state by roughly that 4 to 5 a.m. Which app is better, FEMA or Red Cross? I think either are just fine. We recommend the Red Cross app because Joel has experience with it. So that's what we recommend. FEMA app's probably a really good choice as well.
The more ways, the better.
Exactly. What's Battle Creek outlook tonight? So Battle Creek is in the highest concern tonight. Damaging winds is your primary concern, but we cannot rule out spin-up tornadoes across that and close to the orange area there on your screen, which includes Battle Creek. Time frame for you guys in Battle Creek, roughly around that 1 to 2 a.m. time frame.
Thank you, Sad Bigfoot, for that super chat.
Would a capping inversion kill this thing on the east side? So capping inversion is in place tonight, actually. But it's not really going to matter with the strength of these storms. It's going to likely break through this cap, although it should hold things down just a bit, although it shouldn't, dampen things too much tonight. We'll be live all throughout the night here. As long as there's severe occurring, we're going to be live here. So feel free to tune back in with us. We're going to be live both on Facebook and on YouTube simultaneously. Feel free to tune in, say hello. Storms are moving right now. Good question. The text of the latest warning issued, which is a tornado warning here for parts of Illinois, says it's moving east at 40 miles per hour. That will likely pick up steam as we get later on in the evening. So roughly 40 or 50 mile per hour. But we do have what we call a rear inflow jet to these things. Once that kicks in, which we expect to kick in here, that will likely speed it up here quite a bit. I'll be right back, Joel.
Okay.
Drill, I don't know if we want to cover the UP at all right now. It does look like there is a possibility it could go severe warned again.
Where at?
This would be just west of Chatham.
So Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette area. East of Marquette.
Switch the radar here. It's about a 20-second delay. There's also a flash flood advisory, flood advisory for downtown Marquette.
Yes.
Goodness. Tail and Charlie there. Oh, wow. Yeah. 2 spots, actually, Ryan. Or Nick, sorry. Chattanam and near Rock. And that's definitely a tail and Charlie right there. That's kind of like what we saw on the Gladwin day.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I didn't even notice that before, but yeah, you're right. We'll see what they do about that.
So we're going to keep an eye on that. Again, for those who are just tuning in, we do have our timing map listed on our Facebook page. Zoom all the way out here, so it's just basically pixels. You can see in the bottom left here, it's not visible on radar, but that's where the Boeing segment is at, heading towards Southwest Michigan. You also have now a severe thunderstorm warning in the UP.
New severe warning for that tail end, Charlie, that you said, tornado possible.
Okay.
This is severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Delta County in south central Upper Michigan, southeastern Marquette County in north central Upper Michigan. This is until 8:30 p.m. Your hazard is 60 mile an hour wind gusts, and it does have a tornado possible tag on it.
Yeah, that's a classic kidney bean shape right there. For those who don't know, we look for these kind of C-shaped things for embedded supercells. And then on the back, it's kind of like a hook, kind of like if you're looking at a Captain Hook thing. It's bent down like that, and that's right at the end of that is where you'd see perhaps a tornado. If you flip it over to velocity, look at those reds and greens, pretty close together there across portions of southern Marquette County. This is in for Rock and Perkins and the M35 corridor. So nobody up in the UP right now, let them know. There's potential damaging winds, maybe even a tornado heading towards M35. Caitlin, $5 super chat. How is Ypsilanti in Belleville tonight? Staying at my grandma's in Ypsilanti tonight out of fears for my safety. Smart thing to do for sure. As long as you have sturdy structure, it's a good thing to take advantage of for sure, just in case. Appreciate your super chat. Severe risk could make it all the way down that 94 corridor for sure. So we'll keep an eye on it, though, as the night progresses. Relentless 517, $5 super chat. How's Grand Rapids looking for severe stuff? They are in kind of like the middle ground between a slight and enhanced, pretty much around that border. It's within 25 miles of the enhanced, so it technically is enhanced for the 30% chance of damaging winds and hatched. So that means there's also another probability of seeing 70 mile per hour winds possible tonight. Nick, you're looking around confused. What are you looking for?
I'm looking at the radar right now.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just looking at correlation coefficient and stuff.
Make sure this is the right storm motion vector here. 293 at 29. Okay, there you go. Change it a little bit. Definitely some intense winds going on there. We switch over to CC, see if there's anything concerning. Not really. But we're going to keep an eye on it. This is currently right now severe weather briefing and severe weather coverage. It's kind of a 2-in-1 for us right now, so bear with us here. The Cove Channel with a very generous $50 super chat. Thank you, Cove Channel. Saying thanks for all you do, keeping us safe. New subscriber from Ann Arbor. Thank you for tuning in from Ann Arbor. We hope you guys stay safe over there tonight, and appreciate your support here of our channel. Appreciate it.
New severe warning for the Upper Peninsula. This is for West Central Schoolcraft County and East Central Upper Michigan and southwestern Algier County. This is a severe thunderstorm was located over Chatham or 13 miles southwest of Munising, moving east at 35 miles per hour. And again, the hazard is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we have 2 severe warnings in the Upper Peninsula now. So we continue to monitor that tail end, Charlie, that Joel was pointing out.
Yep. That new severe thunderstorm warning does not have a tornado possible tag on it.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch my radar. I have two screens going right now. I'm gonna switch my StreamYard and my radar screen. Because what happens is my radar screen, when I click on the warning, it puts everything on the other screen. That's tough flipping back and forth. Let's see. Martin with a $9.99 super chat. Why is attic radar not working? Not sure. We don't have attic radar here at MSC. We are using GR2 and Radar Omega. So that might be on their end. Oops. Program is very laggy right now. So many comments flying in. We got a new member, Julie. Welcome to the team here at MSC. Thank you for your support. Hope you stick around. Flood warning in Kalamazoo after 9. That's a flood watch. So conditions are favorable for flood conditions to develop. There could also be, I think there's a couple of river flood warnings out there from Beryl earlier last week. So again, rain has to travel somewhere and it moves rather slowly. Welcome back, Ryan. We're in severe ops now here in our briefing.
Oh, I saw that tornado possible tag on it too.
Yeah, there's your rotation.
UP
and Racer rock.
Yeah, UP is trying to say hold my beer, but we'll see if it does anything. I got food real quick and got somebody set up here with not super chats, but moderation. So,
my goodness,
Andy with a very generous $100 super chat. No text with that, but we do appreciate your support nevertheless. Thank you so much for your contribution to our team here at MSC. You are greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much.
I'm lagging so bad right now. I can't even click anything.
I got you, Joel.
Martin with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Martin. You guys are very generous. Again, everything goes back into what we give back to you guys here. So appreciate you. Again, if you want to become a channel member, it's another way to support us on a monthly basis. It's as low as $3 a month or pennies a day, I guess you could call it. If everybody did that, we'd do this as a full-time job. MSC WeatherCon when? Maybe. We do public events every once in a while. Again, this is our severe weather briefing, but right now there's severe going on in the UP, so bear with us here. If you guys still have questions about downstate, we will also answer them as long as we can see them. Again,
tornado warning.
Chat's flying in here. Got a tornado warning now?
Tornado warning on that tail end, Charlie. Radar indicated. I'll handle it real quick. Northwestern Delta County, At 7:50 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Rock, or 26 miles north of Escanaba, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. And this is radar indicated.
There it is. Inside that red polygon you see popping on your screen there. Here's your new tornado warning, radar indicated, as Nick mentioned there, for Rock and Perkins. If you live inside that red polygon, you guys are in that warning.
We are under a tornado watch for portions of our southern regions.
We're under a tornado watch now. Wow, there's a lot of news flying in right now. So tornado watch for Southwest Michigan just came in, and we are in tornado warning ops now for the UP. So bear with us here. We're back and forth. Let me go ahead and pause radar. Cities impacted by this tornado warning include Rock. Okay, well, there's no other. Usually it shows like municipality, unincorporated municipalities, but it's literally just Rock. So Rock and Perkins, especially Rock, it's heading right for you guys. And actually,
Trombley is also just south of Rock as well. 529 M35 corridor.
Yeah, the velocity scan has tightened up.
That definitely
in here.
That definitely looks like it could be on the ground in the next scan. Again, this is at 2,000 feet. There's a little bit of you can see a green pixel next to a red pixel right in there. It's very, very, very small. It's going to be probably very weak, but we'll have to overlap it with our CC here in the next coming scans.
Does Radar Omega have a 4-panel view or no?
Hold down your dice looking on the bottom middle, and it'll have a 4-pane look.
Experimental. Yes, I want it.
Bob with 5 more gifted memberships here on YouTube. Thank you, Bob, for your generous support, as always, to our team here at MSC. Again, if you are subscribed here on YouTube, you may have just been gifted a membership courtesy of Bob, so thank him.
All right, tornado watch. It just says Southwest Lower Michigan. No graphic yet. Counties included in that watch: Allegan, Barry, Berrien, Cass, Kalamazoo, and Van Buren until 2 a.m. Again, Allegan, Barry, Berrien, Cass, Kalamazoo, and Van Buren counties until 2 a.m. in the morning. That's going to be a tornado watch.
This is the same counties as last night for the severe thunderstorm watch.
Yep.
Wow, 4-panel view is slow.
It is. It very is. All right. I'm going to pull my GR2 into 4-pane if you want to take it in, Joel. Just feel free.
Yeah, go ahead and take your radar if you want.
All right, get it loaded up here real quick. I was bring it in just so you had it in case you wanted to use it.
Gotcha. I'm not seeing much in terms of a debris ball yet, but these scans are about 3.5 minutes apart. So we'll have to see what comes in here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm still at the 751.
Sheesh.
Same.
All right, I got to make it rolling now.
I might have to restart my Omega.
Wow, that fell apart.
Very quickly, thankfully.
Tornado warnings in the UP, Rock, Perkins. This is going to be in portions of Delta County right now. So you know anybody up there in the M35 corridor, let them know. It's heading right for them. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning up in Chatham and Munising as well. For what you can see here is a Boeing segment here on the left side of your screen. That's some strong gusty winds there, perhaps up to 60 miles per hour. The tornado warning is just for Delta County in the UP. Tornado watch will be for Southwest Michigan, pretty much the same counties as yesterday.
Graphics on our page. If you want to go look at that, it's already posted.
Goodness, that was loud.
What was that?
That was the refresh on Facebook. Holy cow.
Sound like R2D2.
Yeah. Do you have Ryan? Do you have Radar Omega ready?
It's in the other stream room. I can pull it in though.
Okay. Do you want to pull it in so you can go over roads?
Gotcha.
I know this is kind of.
I can just call roads out if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, about to cross M35 here. It's going to be right near the crossroad. Go zoom in here real quick. In fact, give me a second here to get on satellite so it's a little bit better to read, a little bit easier for me. Pull that in before we do this. There we go. Pop that in, refresh. All righty, so M35 is going to be the main crossroad, northwest to southeast facing road. Still loading in here. Give me a second. Go. It's going to be North Rock 38th Street, H16 Road, 529 here near Rock Cedar 36 Lane, Summer Meadow G5 Road, Finn Hall Road, County Line G Road, Airport F5 Road. Trombley just to the south there of Rock, also in the path of this. Going further north here, 432, also in the path of that. These are crossroads. That's going to be known as Maple Ridge 37th Road, Orchard Lane. And those are the immediate impact roads that I see in the path of this.
Bob with the $2 super chat again, saying share this YouTube page and all your social media sites. Yes, feel free to share. Again, it's going to be probably a long night. We'll see. But again, somewhat serious situation perhaps tonight here in Southwest Michigan that we're going to be watching out for closely. We got you guys covered from beginning to end as always. So be ready. And we'll be going live for severe warnings downstate as well. But right now we got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning in effect for Delta and Alger County in the UP. We're currently tracking. The action down in the Lower Peninsula is not arrived yet. It is still in Illinois and Wisconsin at this current time. And again, that timing map can be found on our Facebook and Twitter page.
Is it not, Nick?
Julie's saying that the MSC Twitter is not posting warnings right now.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
I am serious.
Yeah, stopped an hour ago. I'm on it.
Why?
Bad night for that to happen.
Are they posting on Facebook?
Yes.
So it's just on X's side of things.
It might be a next issue.
All right.
I'm going to send a test out and see if it goes through for Twitter or for X.
Seems like every time there's a big event, there's some sort of issues with NWS or something.
So via our automated warnings, they did get sent to Twitter and Facebook. They're just not relaying over to for Twitter. Graphics are down. NWS is down, it looks like, on the graphics side of thing.
Oh, no. They're probably just getting overloaded with everything right now.
I'm still going to send the test out to see if it goes through and to see if the test goes through. And if it does, it's probably going to be an NWS issue. All right. So I got an error code. Twitter code 429 is what I got. So it looks like it might be an issue with this, or Twitter perhaps.
Looking back at our rotation here for our tornado warning in Rock. Strongest of winds right now, just passed over M35, just on the north side of Rock.
Update for your severe warning to the north. Tornado possible now on that storm too.
The one in Alger County?
Yeah, just got a new, perhaps a new warning, or something popped in on Marquette saying tornado possible.
I think it trimmed the one that's also already under a tornado warning.
Yes.
Its box just got trimmed down here.
Okay, I got you now. I got you now.
But it's already tornado warned anyway, so it just supersedes the severe.
Center of rotation, albeit weak, is just north of Rock, centered over North Rock 38th Street, about to cross over into Orchard Lane, and eventually East Maple Ridge 37th Road, also known as 432, N Road, is also a dead end road off that vicinity. And then it goes into what looks to be a wooded area for quite some time until it gets to US 41. That's also going to cross 34th lane on Friday Q1 road, South 15 road, 35th lane, and also M41 or US 41. Sorry, it's going to be downstream in the warning still, but got a few minutes before it gets to you guys.
I do want to point out we do have a cell over Lake Michigan, northern Lake Michigan, heading towards North and South Manitou Island, Traverse Bay area that we're going to keep an eye on as well.
At some point, we got to make the switch over to the other stream.
Yep.
In a minute.
The graphic just came out finally for the tornado watch.
Did it? Okay.
Yep.
I'll update the post there.
Did they get extended up into a couple other counties?
No extension. The watch states a few tornadoes likely, scattered hail to ping pong ball size, widespread gust to 90 miles per hour likely.
Goodness gracious.
That's probably going to be in the moderate risk mainly, though. If I had to imagine.
Perhaps.
But again, anywhere in that hatched risk zone, you can see those gusts over 70 miles per hour tonight.
Yes.
Ryan, I don't know if you want to pull that back in because this is technically still a briefing.
The watch coordination or the graphic?
The SPC wind risk, so I can talk about the hatch.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got you. There you go. So your SPC wind risk there is in red. And if you notice closely, there is what we call a hatched area. It's a black line with a bunch of black little lines within the black outline. That's going to be what we call the hatched area. And that's going to be where your winds over 70 miles per hour are most likely. So that's going to include places like Grand Rapids, Holland, over to Hastings. Lansing is close, so be alert. Jackson is also within that. Coldwater, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Benton Harbor, Three Rivers, Sturgis, those general areas. And as well, we also have that moderate risk just sitting off to our west here it's halfway across Lake Michigan, essentially into Gary, Indiana. We'll see if they extend that. I don't think they will, but it's knocking on our door there. So it's definitely a real risk tonight to take seriously if you live within this enhanced risk, but also within the slight and marginal risk. Every risk out there should be taken seriously.
Just saw a question on YouTube asking if we are live. Yes, we are live.
Current time is 8:04. So if your current time does not say 8:04, 8:05 now, you are behind. So make sure you sync it up there. On mobile devices, hit the button or tap the screen, should I say. On the bottom left, you should see a live or a number. Click that. That should take you to the latest part of the stream. The tornado warning is now canceled in the UP.
Good.
Severe warning continues with a tornado possible tag. The rotation does appear to be weakening out just a bit, although on my end it's still there, but it is weak. It's moving into a pretty rural area between Rock and US 41 there. I don't see any bigger cities, but I do see a few houses there close to 34th Road, as well as South 15th Road along US 41. That's going to be in the path of this. So a severe warning continues with a tornado possible tag. Other hazards with that are going to be 60 mile per hour winds. No severe hail is expected. Detroit Legend has a good point. The moderate risk is in Michigan based on 25-mile point rule. You could say that, although it's extremely close. So per NWS Milwaukee, it says automated warning graphics will not be posted to the office account as there's been a rate limit exceeded by NWS accounts. So looks like either Twitter or perhaps NWS is having issues getting their warning graphics out. So unfortunately, what appears right now, we're not going to have graphics for the warnings tonight, guys. So plan on no warning or graphics at least. The warnings will still post automatically, but the graphics will not. Yeah, Julie, again. This happened last time we had a decent severe threat as well. So
Yep.
it seems to be an ongoing issue that they need to figure out. I'm not sure what exactly needs to be fixed, but they need to figure that out, whether it's a Twitter issue or an NWS issue. Something's got to happen here. Automated warnings seem to be working on Facebook. Our Twitter does not seem to be updating those warnings. I got the exact same error that the Twitter has too many requests for the automations. So. All right. So while we have some so quote unquote break in the action here, does anybody have any questions about the risk tonight? I'm going to flip back over here to the SPC Outlook. This is technically still a briefing, although there's a couple severe warnings up there in the UP. We're going to keep an eye on things up there. But as far as this goes, we do have a couple other probably likely questions here to answer regarding tonight. So if you guys got questions, feel free. Freedom, that's a great point. They do Freedom. They are posting on the IM, but they're not really zoomed in or anything like that, like the other graphics are. So it's not really going to help.
That rotation has definitely gone away now. There's still a pocket of heavy winds heading for that US 41 corridor. So the Trinary, or however you pronounce it. So be advised if you're traveling US 41, still damaging winds moving down there.
Ethan, thank you for your $2 super chat, asking how severe are tornadoes likely to be in southwest Michigan. So all tornadoes are technically severe. But as far, I think what you're getting at is how strong they're going to be. The answer tonight should be on the briefer side, on the weaker side. There is quite a bit of spin up there, but the storm mode tonight favors more so quick spin up type of tornadoes. So they shouldn't be too strong or too long lived tonight. But there is definitely a threat for tornadoes. Yeah, the watch box does say scattered gusts up to 90 miles per hour likely. Of course, the moderate risk is where the highest risk of that is. However, there is a significant wind risk here in Michigan, as seen here in the red hatched area. So if anything significant is going to happen, it's likely going to be within that zone. I see somebody also asking about the future radar. We'll go ahead and go over that here really quickly. So this is the latest HRRR model. The line comes across the lake roughly around 10 to 11 p.m. Stuff pops out ahead of it according to this model. This is right around 11. It arrives. That squall line pushes across the state, 94 corridor there, all the way through eastern Michigan, and clears the state by roughly 4 or 5 a.m. So your future radar is that squall line approaches, pushes through southern parts of the state. It should weaken as it does so, but there's a chance it may not.
The 90 mile per hour winds would be equivalent to an EF1 tornado. But again, I think the majority of the 90 mile per hour winds are going to stay on the west side of Lake Michigan. We could still see probably 70, 80 easily on our side. Oh, tornado watch. Here it comes across on my phone. That was the emergency app. Did you hear it or no?
I heard it.
Okay.
Somebody asked, is there a severe thunderstorm watch out?
Nope.
Not
There's a
currently.
Tornado watch.
Tornado watch.
That supersedes the severe thunderstorm.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
The latest models are really trying to hit the 94 corridor harder than any other place here in the state. This is the second model run that's shown this out ahead of this line here. That just looks like a nasty, I think it's probably the MCV or associated with the MCV, perhaps there.
Prefrontal.
Yeah, it's out ahead of the main line. I expect the MCB to be back like right over here, but we'll see. But that's the second run on the road that's shown that.
Do we want to go over what counties have the tornado watch for
Michigan?
Michigan?
Goes off again. Current counties under 8. In fact, hold on.
You can pull it on your radar.
I'm going to pull on the graphic.
I'm just seeing questions in the chat.
All right, I'm going to load this in here real quick. Where's my overlays? There they are.
Difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. A tornado watch means the ingredients are favorable for tornadoes to develop. They haven't happened yet, but the ingredients are all there. So we sometimes talk about SLIM, shear lift, instability, moisture. We have all of that tonight. All of that is possible for any severe weather hazard, specifically damaging winds and tornadoes. Tornado warning means there's rotation on radar or a tornado is ongoing. And those you usually see red boxes on there. But tornado watches means conditions are favorable here in the next couple hours for tornado warnings to occur.
So the current watch box is right across that area, across much of north central Illinois, northwest Indiana, and also southwest Michigan. The counties included are Allegan, Berry, Berrien, Cass, Kalamazoo, and Van Buren counties until 2 a.m. This will likely be extended further east if this line maintains strength. If not a tornado watch, it'll likely be a severe watch. So if you are living east of this current watch box, like Calhoun County, Jackson, over there in Hillsdale, Branch, St. Joseph, I'd be prepared for a downstream watch later tonight. It could be tornadic, it could be a severe, but do expect an extension as long as that line maintains its strength and confidence builds in a further east track. We'll get another watch downstream later this evening.
Off topic from Michigan, tornado warning for Davenport, Iowa. Downtown Davenport, Iowa, Quad Cities area. So if you know anybody there along the Mississippi River, let them know. Yeah, we're still tracking 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now in the UP. Currently kind of losing their mojo a little bit. But there are still some brighter velocities here heading for that US 41 corridor still in that southern storm. We call it the tail end Charlie because it's on the tail end of a big line of storms here. Inflow region kind of being cut off by these storms down to the south. So weak inflow kind of being subsidized by what's happening to the south here. So rotation very weak at the current time, but we'll have to keep an eye on it as it heads towards Mastique.
Amanda, Granville is in Kent County.
Yep. Make sure to, if you haven't yet and you don't know where you guys live on a map, please go to Google Maps and definitely check where you guys are located in the state. Because when we go into severe weather coverage and we're flipping the map around to every different location, it's good to know where you are relative to where these warnings are. You guys do yourself a huge favor.
Just had one severe warning be canceled in the UP.
That's the Munising one.
Yep.
Also on a report out of Dickeyville, Wisconsin, a 102 mile per hour wind gust.
Wow. So looks like if this is consistently producing damaging wind gusts of 60 and higher right now, this is definitely a developing derecho.
We'll see if they can hold its strength.
Yeah.
Which it should. I wouldn't think anything's going to stop it. But like we said before, the main concern tonight, aside from severe, the main fail mode, so to speak, is if this line dives further south, which right now models do not show that indicating that. So we do expect it to track across southern Michigan, but that'd be the fail mode, as these systems do tend to favor a southward movement. That would be the main concern or fail mode for severe weather not happening tonight.
I am seeing some storms fire up here in southern Lake Michigan near Chicago. They are firing up over the lake right now. We'll see what those do as well.
Yep, we're watching all angles here, guys. SPC will update one more time at 9 p.m. So if we're going to get any ships, upgrades, downgrades, it's going to happen at 9 p.m. or around. It could come out early, could come out late.
New member here on our YouTube channel, Ken. Welcome to the channel here. Appreciate your support.
Welcome
Stick
to the team,
around
Ken.
and welcome to the team. So there's a morning trimmed now for Central Delta. It's about to outrun its box. Now over US 41, north of Gladstone.
When do you guys want to make the switch?
If there's a warning gets dropped, probably at that point, and then
Okay.
just kind of wait for a new warning to be issued, and then probably roll with it. I would like to get at least a little bit of a break between.
Sarah, feed came up as I was scrolling. Definitely follow our page. If I see you're on Facebook here, definitely hit that follow button. Also, for those who will follow us on Facebook, sometimes you don't realize that you haven't liked our page as well. So go back and check if you haven't liked our page yet on Facebook as well. That's one way to see more of us in your feed. So if you haven't followed us on Facebook, go ahead and do that. That's how you'll be able to see more of us. And again, we will go live as well later for more severe. We're also on YouTube here, Michigan Storm Chasers. You can subscribe for free and turn on post notifications. Hit that bell. That's right when we go live. It'll give you a notification right then and there when we go live for severe. So definitely, probably the most preferred way is subscribing on YouTube for free and hitting that bell. And thank you for finding our page. Again, like button does go a long ways. Again, if you don't know anybody that may be in the path of these storms tonight, a like goes a long ways. Helps boost that algorithm for people you may not know, fellow Michiganders alike. So feel free to do that if you haven't yet.
Kent County does not currently have a tornado watch.
Correct. And I don't think they will. But again, tornado conditions can occur outside of these watches. Just because you're not in a watch doesn't mean severe is still possible there. We also have I don't know if you guys saw this in for Leelanau County. Sell over the lake.
I mentioned it a few minutes or like 10, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, heading toward Glen Arbor area.
Yeah.
More so toward Grand Traverse Bay, Charlevoix.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that.
Ooh, good question. Let me go to the SBC website real quick. That's something I can pull up as well that we haven't read off yet. So tornado watch. Here's the details of the tornado watch. Thunderstorms are expected to evolve into one or more bow echoes from Iowa to northern Illinois this evening, with the potential to produce swaths of significant severe gusts 75 to 90 miles per hour, and several tornadoes with embedded circulations are possible. Storms will spread into northwest Indiana and southwest lower Michigan later tonight. Reminder, tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes and severe thunderstorms in and close to the watch area. So again, that could include Kent County. Persons in these areas should be on the lookout for threatening weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. For probabilities, here is your probabilities for every hazard in this tornado watch. Probability of 2 or more tornadoes is moderate, 60%. Probability of 1 or more strong EF2 to EF5 tornadoes is low, 20%. And again, this is across the entire watch area. Keep that in mind. So this also includes Illinois and Indiana. Basically saying that there will be 2 or more tornadoes at some point within that entire watch zone. So it might not be Michigan. It could be Indiana or Illinois as well. For wind, probability of 10 or more severe wind events, high, 90%. Probability of 1 or more wind events, 65 knots, is also high at 80%. Hail's kind of on the lower end of things. Probability of 10 or more severe hail events, moderate at 40%. And 1 or more hailstones 2 inches in diameter, low at 20%. The probability of 6 or more combined severe hail and wind events is high at greater than 95% chance. So again, that's for the entire tornado watch itself. So that does include Illinois and Indiana. So that those odds could be, more favorable in Illinois and Indiana. But again, we're in that tornado watch in Southwest Michigan, so you never know. Those could be also down in that side of the state as well. A derecho is a basically consistently damaging wind events being reported across the entire area as basically 250 miles in length, I believe. Well, that's been debated.
Getting pictures and videos out of the Iowa area, these winds are absolutely cranking. I'm gonna send you some videos, Joel.
On what platform?
Twitter.
On the Twitter.
I'm getting a couple of these in here. Like it's
Again, we will be live. We have the best coverage here in Michigan. Always have, always will. So feel free to stick around for later tonight.
There are a lot of tornado warnings out in front of this line.
once this warning drops, I think we should probably pop out of here while we can.
Yep.
And take a break. You agree, Joel?
Yeah, when this warning pops off, we'll end the briefing for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Which it should be any moment, canceled any moment here. So
Get down here. Here's your tornado watch in the yellow boxes. We'll flip radars here real quick. When it decides to.
Yeah, I don't really feel like it.
Or it won't respond.
Leanne, thank you for becoming a member.
appreciate your support, Leanne. Welcome to the team.
Welcome aboard.
Swakey with 10 gifted memberships here on YouTube. Thank you, Swakey, for your support of the channel, being a very generous donor here. Again, if you are following us, subscribe to us here on YouTube for free, you may have just been gifted one of these 10 memberships, so go ahead and check them out. Pacify with a $9.99 super chat. It's going to be a long night. Thanks for what y'all do, as always. Thank you, Pacify, for those kind words and your support to the channel, as always. Appreciate you.
97-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming out of Holy Cross, Iowa.
I thought you were going to say, like, holy crap.
Hope this weekends or dive south, but what's coming is not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
We also just hit 17,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you,
awesome.
guys. You guys, yeah, like Joel just said, you guys are awesome. Couldn't have done it without you guys.
Super appreciate it.
Remember, once we get to 20K, I get to dance.
May not be tonight. We're
Yeah.
not going to dance in coverage of severe, but
Yeah. For those who don't know, we do when there's nothing going on here at MSC, especially these late night events, when it gets very late and no warnings are left, we like to hang out, talk to you guys as well. We're very personal, like to chill, and that's kind of how we get you guys to these events as well, is kind of just to hang out a little bit. Very down to earth, I guess you could say, is a statement there. So that includes sometimes dancing and talking in soft voices. So
and squeaking the duck.
and that too, yeah. Which
Have
at
we
some
named that thing
point
yet?
we still got to get a name for that duck, but
Another
quack
time, we're
one.
not talking about serious stuff, though.
subscribe for members only. Live streams. Joel reads bedtime stories in a whisper. No, not quite, but I do whisper. I was reading off special weather statements in ASMR voice last night, and that was on the normal stream. Comment about tornado watch in GR. We don't have a tornado watch in GR, but it is close enough where conditions are favorable for tornadoes outside of that watch box. So definitely want to be on alert in the Grand Rapids area tonight.
Are they just going to let this severe warning just expire? Because
Probably, yeah.
they're not canceling that, and it's already outside of its box.
We're probably safe to pop out of here as long as they don't extend it, obviously, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, it looks like they have a special marine warning on that cell we mentioned heading towards Charlevoix. That is for wind gusts of 34 knots or greater and large hail. This is going to be going just north of North Manitou Island. So if you know anybody out boating, better call them in.
The SWS Delta counties, so I think we're safe to pop out of here.
Sweet.
All right. And again, we'll be back later, everybody, here. Again, best coverage in Michigan. We will be back covering every single severe warning across the state. We will have chasers on the ground. We have plenty of chasers out there tonight. We'll probably get a lot of good lightning out of this for sure. Nevertheless.
Also, just want to mention this as well before we pop out. Please do not go outside to see these things coming. They're going to hit you like a wall of rain. It's going to blow you over. If there's going to be anything tornadic tonight, you're not going to see them. They're going to be wrapped in rain. You're not going to see anything. You may think you'll be able to see it with lightning, but you're not going to be able to. So please do not go outside looking for these things. It's not going to be visible.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Especially being a nighttime event. Once you lose that sun, you're not going to see it coming.
And also just an FYI and just kind of like a PSA before we get to our coverage. If you guys are watching tonight and have things you want to send us, please refrain from asking about locations in our inbox. Please message us reports of damage, reports of anything significant damage. Just don't ask us questions about locations. We're live for a reason tracking these things. We get a lot of people cluttering our inbox, a lot of people trying to relay important information like tornadoes, damage, stuff like that. Please save the inbox for the damage reports, real-time reports, videos, pictures of the storms, of damage, stuff like that. Please only do that on an important basis. Do not message the page asking about, hey, is this location okay? The time to know that question was before now. So with that being said, I just want to put a PSA out there. Just please refrain from cluttering our inbox with questions that have been answered already. Okay.
But do send us damage reports.
Yes.
As much detail as possible, please. So location, time. If it's something that needs to be measured, please use a ruler.
Yes. Okay. With that being said, we're going to pop out of here, guys. We'll see you guys whenever the next severe warning is issued. Hopefully it's a little bit of a break here, but we'll be live here with coverage as needed. So
Yep.
Stay safe, guys. We'll see you guys later tonight.
Thank you, Karen, for becoming a member. We'll see you later.
Thank you. See you.